Path traversal. Web applications sometimes require reading from or writing to a file system. So by crafting parameters that reference files on the system, it's possible to access other files that are stored on the server. So a path traversal attack may enable us to read sensitive data, including passwords, application logs, and so much more. And we can view security-critical items, such as configuration files and software binaries as well. Now, if we're really good, we're able to navigate out of the web root folder, and then we can perform path traversal attacks. So users should only be restricted to the web root directory, okay? And they should not be able to access anything above the web root. Now, the most basic path traversal attack is using the .. to move up one directory. Now, most web servers have been locked down to prevent this attack, but you never know. Some will still accept it. Okay, then, so let's go to Kali. Log into BWAP. Use the drop-down menu and open Directory Traversal directory. Now, there's nothing strange on the first page at first look. But look at this. See, when you start to pay attention to the URL, the directory parameter in the URL can reveal something. So let's delete this value. So the warning, this directory doesn't exist, appears. Okay. This means the parameter takes the name of the folder on the file system and prints the content of that folder. So now we can guess folders generally residing in applications, such as JavaScript, images, style sheets, and of course admin. Ooh, it works perfectly. Okay, so then we can try to traverse in the directories now. So for this, we need to climb up in between folders. Now, I know that the back end is Linux, and so that means I'm going to use Linux file systems placeholders to traverse between folders. So first thing to do is print what's inside the current folder, and the application executes the placeholder for the current directory. And look at the documents and folders under the current directory. Right, so we are still in the current directory. Now, climb up one level using this placeholder, and it works. Climb up one more level again, and climb up one more again. I think we should be in the root directory now, but we can try to climb up one more again. All right, so climbing up is done, so now it's time to traverse. View the home directory, and these are the user's home directories. So we'll go to B's folder. Okay, so go to Documents and view the scripts folder. And here are some scripts that run over the system. So in a situation like this, you can view many important files and configurations, right? In Path Traversal, I generally go to the etc directory and show password file. But this vulnerability these days works really only to view the content of the folders and not the files themselves. Okay, so anyway, let's change the level now to medium. Okay, and put the current folder placeholder to check traversing. And of course, we get a warning. We are detected. So let's see if that means that we also cannot climb. Okay, so sadly, that's true. Climbing's fun. But what happens if you just try a /? Oh, that works. Okay, so it prints the content of the root directory. I think the developer is escaping the dots. So we can check the code later. Right now, let's go to B's folder. And that's nice. This way we can traverse between folders. And now let's change the level to high. So delete the current value. An error message appears. That hasn't stopped us before. So let's try to climb and traverse. Okay, so that's not working. So now let's go and view the code. So view directory traversal to page and scroll down to code. So here's a function called show directory, and it has a directory parameter. Check and see if the directory exists. Show the content of that directory. Scroll down a little bit more. And the directory parameter in the URL passes to the show directory function. So if the security level is low, show directory function just executes. If the level is medium, the parameter we provide from the URL is checked with directory traversal check to function. And for the high-level directory, traversal check 3 is used. All right, so now let's have a look at these two functions. So let's scroll down to the functions that we're searching. All right, so here's the last one. That's why we are restricted to web root directory only. All right, so now let's go to the other function. And it checks for placeholders that we use to climb and traverse. All right, so you get the idea. You can always analyze the code more line by yourself.